bump, and we talk about that, and everybody thinks that's a negative. I love it. Well,
wow. That might have been a handful for Matt Kenseth.
That's more character we're looking for. Matt, buddy, as much as it's rained, I wouldn't even try to put that thing in gear.
He may want to just climb out now.
Yeah. You see at the top of your screen, he's right in the middle of the black, seems to be in the groove pretty well, but as he exits, a big wiggle, he corrects, he's chasing the car up the track, and at this point, a veteran, I know this is going to sound silly, but he spun that car to the left on purpose. When that car starts to lose control, he's wide open in the gas. The rear tires are spinning. He knows his best chance is the grass, because if he rolls out of the gas, that car is going to turn right, because that's the way he has the wheels turn. And if it turns right, there's a big safer barrier out there that's going to really end this car's day. So he spins it through the grass, which is never a guarantee. It's pretty soft, but he got lucky. It doesn't look like it's tore the splitter off. Here you see they're going to hook it up underneath the back of the car, try to pull the car out.
And you could call it somewhat of a traffic jam. Here's Danica Patrick trying to come back into the garage area. Meanwhile, to the right of our shot there's Sam Hornish Jr. He comes out, but he's already been hit. He's already been rear-ended by Cole Witt.
Yeah, and this is nobody's fault. This is the way they've set up leaving and entering the garage area. And you know, Sam has to stop because he thinks Danica's coming, and Danica stops because she thinks Sam's coming.
On the outside of Crafton. Here comes Blaney with him in the blue and trouble. Gallagher, hang on.
What a save by Spencer Gallagher.
The great moves he's made. Look at that.
He's 45 degrees sideways here and saves it.
He needs to save that one for Eldora, because that's the way he's going to drive through 3 and 4 in a couple of weeks.
Crafton doesn't get.
Tough. Caleb Holman, that 75 truck, he was in position with the Food Country truck to get the free pass. He was in line there.
Caleb was running in 17th, and you can see what happens when you don't save it and it gets away from you.
Right there, you see the two trucks. They were actually racing for the free pass. Caleb Holman, the 75, was in position. Daniel Hemrick, the 14, was going to try to get by him to get in position for that free pass. They made contact, and that's the resulting damage to the 75 Food Country truck of Caleb Holman.
Heavy contact to the outside wall. Holman's done. Hemrick's not having a very good evening. He's still in the top 20, though, and will continue to race.
The yellow 88. He's in 4th, Hunter in 3rd, and there goes Bell into the wall. Christopher Bell in his 2nd start in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series has seen that truck get sideways more than once tonight, had done a tremendous job.
Don't speed. Hit road speed now.
And watch, he gets loose on the bottom and tries to chase it up the hill, and then it finally just comes all the way around. He was inside the top 10, Phil, and like you said, he was thinking, I'm going to give me some positions. I've had this thing out of control. I can hang on to it. But these things are just so hard once you get them sideways. If you save them once, it's quite an look.
He's sideways before he ever got to the corner.
Yeah.
And then never really caught up to it. Just about got it there, but then ran out of racetrack. If we would have had another lane or so of where rubber had been put down, he probably would have saved that truck, but unfortunately for him, didn't have it.
You make one swipe at it and save it, maybe 2, but then that 3rd one seems to really whip you around, and that's what happened there.
Well, he's getting his feet wet here in the Truck Series, learning a lot. He'll be back in more comfortable confines, if you will, come Wednesday night. The Brad Doty Classic over in Limaland. He'll be back behind the wheel of a sprint car.
These guys know that time is running out. We're approaching 10 laps to go. Look right side of your screen. Look how sideways John Hunter was, right up against the wall.
Oh, and there's the caution. Gallagher pounds the wall this time with the 23. He was running 13th at the time.
Man, these trucks are running upwards of 185 miles an hour when they enter the corner, Ralph, and that's exactly where Gallagher hit. It's a 3-wide battle. Gallagher gets into John West Townley and turns himself sideways. There had to be contact from where he was spinning. And watch this thing turn left, and right, excuse me.
And I'm sure to Spencer, it felt like it picked up speed as it got to the outside wall there.
By the way, if you're looking for that CONCACAF soccer match, you can find it right now on Fox Sports 2, and we'll switch it over to Fox Sports 1 as soon as the checkers fly here.
Watch this. He just tried to take the bottom and go 3 wide, but he had a bad angle to the corner and ran into John West.
I think once he got to John West, then he might have just grabbed the steering wheel, tried to turn left to stay off of John West. When it did, it turned him sideways, and hard contact with the outside safer barrier.
That's what the end of these races are all about, Ralph, and that's why the last 10 laps are so unpredictable. These guys have a chance to get sideways 3 wide. They're going to take advantage of it.
Well, here's something interesting about the last 10 laps here at Kentucky. The driver leading with 10 to go has won 15 of the 17 races here.
Looked like John West maybe moved away from Johnny Sauter as they entered the corner, not so he wouldn't go in the corner so close to Johnny Sauter, and that might have surprised Spencer just a little bit, and that's when they made the contact.
Watch how hard this truck hits the southbound wall.
It really didn't look like it slowed down that much. It had to slow down because we saw the black marks, so those tires are scrubbing off speed, but it sure didn't look like it slowed down much.
Problems. Huge hit for Kennedy. The 11 up on the safer barrier. Down off the wall it comes to a grinding halt in the middle of the racetrack.
I'm okay. It's a hard hit.
That's great news. That's the voice of Ben Kennedy.
Hit right there.
See, he's racing on the inside of David Gillen. They make a little bit of contact. You see John West Townley was on the outside. He's going to run right into the side of him and kind of lift that truck up a little bit. Got into the catch fence. For the second week in a row, we've had a vehicle in the catch fence. But again, the catch fence did its job. It kept that truck down on the racetrack, and you see it riding along the top of the safer barrier.
When they got to turn 1, Phil, I think they were 3 wide, and Ben probably thought that's a difficult angle for the spotters to see as well. And I think that Ben probably thought, wow, look how close that truck comes to going over. Probably thought they were just 2 wide, and he had room to move up a little bit for the corner.
That's what it looked like.
That was incredible how that truck just grinding along that safer barrier.
That's a battery sliding up in the top lane of the racetrack. Let's take a look at it again.
You can see that it was Gillen,
John West Townley in the yellow
West,
truck.
and I think John Gillen was just below John West, and maybe Ben Kennedy felt like they were just 2 wide and had room to angle himself for the corner, battling for a spot well inside of the top 10.
Man, look at that shot.
Right past one of our camera positions.
Look at all that debris.
But as you pointed out, Phil, that catch fence doing exactly what it's supposed to do as the axle's just grinding along that safer barrier on the wall.
Wow.
Look at ripping the nose off.
We saw
Here
it.
goes that battery.
Yeah, there's a battery out of the truck. It's right in front of the left rear tires where that battery is encased. You can see steam coming out of the lower radiator hose. The radiator's already gone off that truck.
And that wheel, Michael, just turned to the left on that left front just enough to catch it and pull it back down as opposed to rolling over. Watch this from the 25.
Cody Coughlin's going to see what happens, slow down, and look at all the debris he's got to avoid.
Pretty heads-up move by Cody. Immediately when we saw the smoke up in front.
Got launched into the fence because he got hit by another truck when he was sideways. See right there, I think Gillen was down lower than Ben thought he'd be. Right when he hit the wall, Townley hits him. It just sends the truck into the air.
Just incredible video. On a wild ride for Ben Kennedy.
We talked about the speed here at Kentucky, and that part of the track, the fastest area in this racetrack. And when there was contact, it goes bad in a hurry.
And that was a hard call for the spotter to say you're 3 wide, because just at the last instant, John West had a little bit of momentum and pulled to the outside of Gilliland.
And Gilliland turned down to
give him some more room.
That, I think the last 2 wrecks, how do you blame them on a driver? It's just racing. They're racing hard near the end of the race, and they're trying to get all they can get, and they're making split-second decisions at 180 miles an hour. You miss it by an inch, and it causes a big crash, and that was just the imperfect storm for our number 11 truck of Ben Kennedy.
Here it is at speed. You could hear every other truck on the racetrack collectively get out of the throttle.
Yeah, and everybody collectively breathe a sigh of relief when Ben gets out and walks away from that truck.
We have a crash here
Around
off
goes
turn
to 25.
4.
John West Townley sliding through the grass.
brakes, off the brakes. Turn your wheels to the left, turn your wheels to the left and get going. Put it in first gear and try and roll.
So you see him coming out of turn 4, he's all by himself. Car gets loose, tries to stay with it, just can't keep up with the wheel, overcorrects, gets into the wall.
Almost collects the 4 of Ross Chastain.
You see how slick that grass is. He just slides across it. You can see John West, when he got loose, he turned the wheel back to the right. If you don't turn the wheel back to the right, it's gonna spin out. The problem is the front tire's caught. When the front tire's caught, turned him into the wall. You can see him up high. Not way too high, a little bit high. The thing just came around on him. Stayed wide open in the gas. That made the car not back up and get into the wall. Saw the right front tire blow right there. Essentially drove it on pit road.
How about this perspective from Eric Jones? As you mentioned, the right front tire blowing for Ryan Sieg. He makes it onto pit road. And the caution has come out. The 13 of Derek White.
We'll look at it. How much damage we got? A lot? Yeah, I hit it pretty hard.
A lot of damage to the right side.
Need to change the right side tires here.
Derek was 34th.
Might be going down.
5 laps down.
Got loose, caught the right front nose, and then I asked him to slap the wall, and then he came rolled off of it here.
So he was really loose getting in the corner there. Just had to chase it up the racetrack. Hard impact. That car's got a lot of damage. Look at all the debris flying off of it. Here he is way high getting in the corner. Once you get that high, you know, you're kind of in no man's land. The car starts coming around. The only reason it didn't spin is because the wall was there to catch him, but they just destroyed the race car.
J.J. Yaley, the pole sitter, will get the free pass, so he will be back on the lead lap. That will put 18 cars on the lead lap.
No, it is. It's a long ways from over, and that would be a concern if you lost the alternator.
Crashed in the middle of 2, 3, and 4. 2 cars got together.
Car up to 3, and it looks as though that's a 98 of Josh Wise. A lot of damage to the right side of that car. Josh was running 41st, was not on the lead lap. Will Kimmel, making his first ever Sprint Cup start, will receive the free pass. Here's what happened with the 98.
See 98 get in the corner on the outside. The 23 on the bottom just lost the back of the car of Yaley. Got into the 98. Both of them went up the racetrack. The 98 ran out of racetrack, gets into the wall. Big impact, a lot of damage.
Can that be a product of the new race package and how close these two are running? Maybe getting the air off of the 23 spoiler?
No question.
Harvick's so dominant, as well as Jimmy Johnson on 1.5-mile tracks this year. And Kevin Harvick still trying to find some speed as we have an incident on the front stretch. The 41 of Kurt Busch.
All right, stop it, stop it.
Stopped just before the start-finish line. He was in the 10th position.
All right, roll straight.
Marty, was he talking on the radio about a problem with the car?
Hey, he didn't have a problem, but he just told Tony Gibson on the radio a moment ago, whatever changes you made on the last stop, please undo them on this next stop.
Right here, you see him underneath or behind the 42. Jeffy just gets loose.
Yeah, he just comes around on it. You know, he's trying to go as hard as he can. He's in the throttle. He's loose. We already talked about being tight leaving the corner, so he may have gotten up, and as he got close to the wall, he got tight. Then he had to, like, put a lot of wheel into it to keep from hitting the wall. Then the back end comes around. But to your point, we just haven't seen these things. And you know what's crazy? The drivers wanted this. The drivers wanted the cars to drive bad.
They might not tomorrow.
No, but it sounds crazy. But I think the advantage that they all feel like they can get, because every one of them thinks they're a better driver than the next. They want it to be difficult. Look at him with his wheel.
All right, stop it, stop it.
Welcome back to the Kentucky lap. Take a look at the reason for the caution coming out. 23 of J.J. Yaley.
He seems really close to the wall. Actually gets into the wall just a little bit right there. A little bit of debris flying.
As these cars run higher and higher, we're going to see guys jump over that cushion of rubber, that safe zone. You get above that safe zone, it kind of just draws you into the roll.
Able to maintain that speed and that pace. Caution comes out once again. The 6th caution of the night.
I ain't got no brakes. I'm too loose also, but I can't slow it down.
Way up the racetrack is the 88.
You saw the right front rotor glowing. He was on the brakes. He just couldn't get it slowed down. Went up and got up into the wall. Now listen, here's one thing too. These teams have all lightened up their brake packages because of the old aero package, okay? They put smaller rotors. They put smaller calipers on their cars. Now that you have to use the brakes more, do you need to go back and put the old package on where you have bigger calipers and bigger rotors? That could be a factor. You could see he was on the brakes getting in the corner of the right front tire. You see the left front glowing. You see that glow right in the middle of the left front tire. Watch Dale Jr. get in the corner.
And that's what happens. The reason you saw one rotor glowing is if you have brake trouble, one, it may not be all the way around the car, but you need all whatever I can do to get track position. If that means 2 tires, I'm putting
Sliding
2 tires
26. And a close call. But he's able to keep it straight, Jeff Burton. And it looks as though the 14 of Tony Stewart
Bring it back. Bring it around. Good job.
might have got into the inside wall. Back
Nowhere
behind
to go
the
there. They
26.
just packed it into you.
You heard him talk to Jeff. There's the 14 of Tony Stewart. Might be a donut on the driver's side of the 14. Here's what happened.
See 4 wide. Not sure Tony doesn't have some sort of a problem right here. The 17 gets in the side of the 26. It's lucky no more damage than it was. The 14 got into the wall, locks it down. But the 14 was really slow getting into the corner, like he has some sort of a problem.
Just in front of him, Jeff Burton in the 26 got tapped by the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yeah, it's just when you have a car like the 14 up top who was slow and they were already 3 wide underneath them, they don't expect it to be there. Oh, you see here earlier on the front stretch, the 1 of Jamie McMurray and the 14 of Tony Stewart get together. That causes the 14 to get out of the gas. He's instantly lost momentum. You see the cars going by on the inside, a little bit of smoke out of the back of the car, and then as they go down into turn 1, that 3 wide that caught Tony Stewart made it 4 wide. They just ran out of racetrack as they enter turn 1.
Carl Edwards saying that he's neutral in 1 and 2, free in turn 3.
Danica Patrick looks to have gotten into the grass.
Get rolling when you can. Leader is just this tree.
Right rear damage and right front damage to the 10. She goes back out on the track. Danica was 27.
4 tires and fuel.
On the lead lap.
See Danica driving into turn 3. Oh, gets loose. Gets a tap from Junior. And she went. Again, we've heard all night that Junior's had trouble with brakes. So when Danica got a little bit free, could Junior not get slowed down and he got into the back over? That could have been the issue.
Danica Patrick with damage to the right side into the grass.
Gas decent, it's okay, but that's like every other lap. Yeah, you don't have that confidence to drive it where you want it. I know. We messed up on the brakes there.
Yeah, you can hear him talking about the brakes. He just didn't have the confidence to drive it. The crew chief said that. He said they messed up on the brakes, which meant they probably brought the wrong package. And you could just see he just ran into the back of the 10 car because he did not have brakes.
And this just happened. The 10 gets into the back of the 88 as they get onto pit road.
Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that he is having a brake problem. You know, she just thinks she knows somebody just ran into the back.
These drivers were informed. They know that without a caution, this is the run to the finish. Everyone can make it on fuel, and that's obvious when you start to see these restarts. The intensity is ratcheted up. The 42 right here, he's still smoking. He had contact on the restart. The give and take is gone. It's take, and take
Left
some more.
rear's down on the 42. Let's see if he stays out of the wall. He kisses the wall. The 42 has the left rear down, and that brings out the caution for the 11th time.
What's up, everyone? Just wanted to say thanks for all the support you've been giving me. This channel started out as something for my own personal use, but has grown pretty quickly over the last few weeks, and I never really intended on it getting like this, but I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. That being said, there's a couple links here. The middle link is for the track-by-track crashes that I've been doing, and I don't have anything before Talladega, so sorry about that. I didn't really start doing it until then, but I plan to keep doing it as long as I can. And also, the link at the bottom is a gaming channel that me and a couple buddies of mine have been doing, and so far I'm pretty much the only one that's posted anything on there. But if you like gaming, go over there and check that out, and I hope to see you over there. Hope you keep enjoying what I've been putting up, and we'll see you at the track.